We are pretty much a year and a half into this current generation, and there's a few things that's happening that a lot of people didn't think would happen. You know, I remember some people thinking this generation would go the same way the Xbox PS4 generation went, and obviously that's just not the case so far. Now, we know that PlayStation has stock issues and things of that nature, and the PlayStation 5 isn't selling as well as the PlayStation 4 during the first 18 months of the console being available. Now, like I said, we can blame that on stock issues, but the Xbox Series X and S, it is selling better than the Xbox One during the first 18 months of the generation. Now, I know people are going to say, well, Durt, the Xbox One just didn't sell well. It just didn't sell well, Durt. And listen, there's some truth to that. But what I love is that the Xbox Series is doing the exact opposite thing that the Xbox One did. The Xbox Series X and S is selling well despite not having a lot of first-party titles, AAA first-party titles, whereas the Xbox One didn't sell well, and they had a lot of first-party AAA titles the first half of the Xbox One generation. So what is going on? Why is the Xbox Series selling well without any AAA huge first-party games besides Halo and, you know, Forza Horizon 5? But in 2022, they have no big AAA first-party titles. Why is the Xbox Series selling, ladies and gentlemen? Well, somehow Xbox has changed the mindset of the consumer. Somehow Xbox has made the Xbox Series a desirable console, whereas the Xbox One, people didn't want it besides Xbox fans. The casuals chose the casuals chose the PS4 last generation, I have to say, while the only people that was buying Xbox One was hardcore Xbox fans. The Xbox Series is a console that people said nobody would want. It was going to hold back the generation. It was going to be a flop. Well, in reality, the Xbox Series is selling extremely well. I think people took for granted the price of the Xbox Series S, because the Xbox Series S at $299 is moving units. It's moving units. People always just take consumers and casuals for granted. The Xbox Series S is a console that people want. Yes, us hardcore fans, we're going to get that X. We're going to get that PS5. But what about 12-year-old Jimmy that just wants a next generation console to play Fortnite and Call of Duty Warzone with his friends? And it's so funny because the Xbox Series S is selling so well that the PlayStation fanboys want it to be separated. It's funny. Moot said, I almost think the Series S should be counted separately from the Series X.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Of course, that's what they want. But back to the sales. I was watching, I'm sorry, on Twitter, I saw a post tweeted by Xbox News for Koreans. Apparently, they had some type of QVC Xbox sales show, and over 220,000 people was watching this segment regarding Xbox Series consoles. Over 220,000 people in Korea was watching this show. How many people bought them? I don't know, but just to have 220,000 people watching a segment about Xbox Series consoles being sold shows you how far the Xbox brand has come. VG Chart said in the US, the PS5 and Xbox Series X and S are neck and neck, with the estimated gap of just 80,000 units after 82 weeks. The Xbox Series X and S has outsold the PS5 for most of 2022 in the US. That's incredible. Now, Christopher Dream says Xbox has sold more new generation consoles in the UK this year than PlayStation. If we go by NPDs, which of course is just North America sales, the Xbox has outsold the PlayStation 5 4 consecutive months. And if you go by early reports from June, they're probably going to outsell the PS5 for 5 consecutive months. Look, I don't care about Nintendo being number one. Who cares? This is strictly about PlayStation versus Xbox. The Xbox Series is selling. I know some people don't want to hear that. Even worldwide in 2022, it has outsold the PlayStation 5 worldwide. Not by much, but it has outsold them worldwide so far in 2022. So back to what I was saying. Xbox has somehow made people want the Xbox Series. Is it the Xbox Series S? Absolutely. Is it some of the big announcements Xbox had the last couple of years? ZeniMax acquisition, Activision Blizzard acquisition? Absolutely. All of those things have contributed to the Xbox being a more desirable brand. I should say, I almost say more popular. It's not as popular as PlayStation worldwide, but in the States, Xbox has always been neck and neck, even sometimes more popular than the PlayStation in the United States. So yes, it's doing well. Something I want to say before I get out of here. The stock shortage issues with the PS5, of course, is a real thing. I'm not saying that's not a real thing, but they haven't figured out how to fix it. They haven't figured out how to fix this shortage issue with the PS5. Xbox figured out a way, whether it's chip priority, buying more chips, I don't know what they did, but they figured out a way to have more Series X and S in stock, especially the Xbox Series S. They've been readily available and people have been buying that console. But I wanted to say, we heard that the PlayStation 5 stock issue won't be resolved until maybe mid-2023. And if you want to be honest, ladies and gentlemen, my boy Tim Dog mentioned this on last week's episode of WBG Xbox Podcast. He mentioned by the time PlayStation stock issues will be fixed, that's when Xbox first party Onslaught will be there, and it's killing it. By that time, we'll have Starfield, we'll have Redfall, we'll have Forza Motorsport. Some of those other games will be closer, like Avowed, Hellblade 2, Perfect Dark, Fable. So by that time, Xbox first party is going to be in full swing. And this 2022 drought of a whole year with no big first party AAA games, first party from Xbox, this is the last time this is going to happen. This is not going to happen anymore. And of course, by next year, the Activision Blizzard deal will be finalized. Xbox Gamepass will become even more enticing. Every single Call of Duty game will be in the service, including the future ones. Just imagine that, ladies and gentlemen. And one more thing before I go. I say this all of the time, and I'm going to say it again. This is not the Xbox One generation anymore. This is a new and improved Xbox. Xbox is the console to get if you love services like Xbox Game Pass with tons of content in said service. Xbox is the way to go. PlayStation 5 is a pretty good console. I'm not dissing the PlayStation 5. I have one. They dropped a couple of games this year, but it still didn't move the needle. So by the time the PlayStation 5 fixes their stock issues, at the same time, Activision Blizzard deal will be finalized. Xbox first-party games will be coming out in droves. So that's all I got to say, guys. Xbox is absolutely killing it. But look, I'm about to get up out of here. If you like this video, please hit the like button. If you happen to stumble across my channel and you think I'm decent enough, why don't you go ahead and subscribe? And if you subscribe, please hit that notification bell to know what my black ass is doing for new content, baby. All right, everybody. Peace and love. Peace and love. Shit. Damn, man.